Hello, my name's Rebecca and welcome to the reading vlog. I'm so excited for this reading vlog because I'm going to be doing so many cozy things and reading cozy books, celebrating the holidays. I've gotten into baking sourdough bread and I'm going to try to make jalapeno cheddar sourdough bread. We are also traveling to Arizona to celebrate Diwali. So that will be fun to kind of celebrate the holidays. I've already started decorating for Christmas. So I'm kind of just celebrating everything right now. And then also Thanksgiving is coming up. So there's a lot going on. The books that I'm reading, I will show you. So the first book I'm going to read is Bookshops and Bonedust. And Bookshops and Bonedust is the first book I'm going to read. It's like a prequel or something to Legends and Lattes. Legends and Lattes was such a cozy, fun read. So I'm very excited about that. And then what I found at a thrift shop a few months ago or so was My Brilliant Friend. I've only heard amazing things about this book. My Brilliant Friend is about two girls and their friendship in 1950s Naples and like their community there and all of that, and living, I believe, in like poverty. I've heard that if you like kind of like Sally Rooney books, then you'll like My Brilliant Friend. So I am also have high expectations for that book as well. But yeah, let's get started. I need to start baking. Well, I need to start like making this bread because it takes basically all day. So yeah, let's get started with the bread.
What's the angle? I'm not playing that game. It's the same.
I'm already tired. I worked out this morning, so that maybe wasn't the best idea. But now I have to knead the dough for like 10-ish minutes. So I always listen to the 10-minute version of All Too Well. Listening to the All Too Well definitely gives you like the motivation to push through. But I'm already tired. Oh.
With a different name.
I finished up kneading the bread and then I'm waiting for it to rise. I did another few folds after I did some errands, but now I'm actually gonna start reading Bookshops and Bonedust, and I'm gonna try to make it to like about 100 pages or so, or I'll do 50 and then 50 on the other book right now, and put on some lo-fi music and hang out with this little dog here. I read 50 pages so far, but I realized I need to go get the cheddar and the jalapeno for my bread. But my thoughts so far is it's just as good as I was hoping it would be. It's really just like cozy. It feels in the best kind of way like you're in a video game. Like it feels like you're kind of in a mix between like World of Warcraft, Stardew Valley, and Animal Crossing. And I looked up the author and he is actually a video game designer. So I was like, yep, that totally makes sense. It's really lovely. She's like eating these like yummy baked goods. I forget what they are exactly, like basically like cinnamon rolls or something. She's going to the bookshop. She's just chilling around. The premise of this is that Viv, like a fighter, she like, you know, the typical kind of like fantasy situation where she is like killing people and doing things and whatever and killing like monsters. But she hurts her leg and the team that she's with is like, you need to rest for a bit because your leg is so like messed up. And this is when, if you've read Legends and Lattes, it's Viv from Legends and Lattes, but it's earlier when she's like much younger, when she just starts kind of her career of being a mercenary. So that's that. And then she's like in this small little sea village and just like wandering around on her hurt leg and can't do too much. So that's why it's so just like easy, chill, cozy, whatever. It's great so far.
Sorry, I'm not in the market. If I quit buying, you can't sell me anything.
next day and I just want to have a little brag because it's not even 9:30 a.m. yet, and I went to a workout class, checked in for my flight, I had a shower, I got ready, had breakfast, and I am almost done with baking the first loaf of jalapeno cheddar sourdough. We have 8 minutes left on that one. That's, you're hearing something, it's the oven. I read about a little over 100 pages for Bookshops and Bonedust, and it is, nothing much has changed, which is this kind of typical book, but she is helping out somebody whose bookshop is like a family bookshop and it's like almost going to go out of business, and she's doing this and that to make sure the bookshop doesn't go out of business. And it just feels very much like a very easy, low stress side quest when you're like playing a video game like Zelda or something like that. So it's just been very lovely. I think I might switch over to My Brilliant Friend today just so I have kind of a good amount done for both of them before I leave tomorrow for Arizona. But today is baking, baking, baking. I'm baking 2 loaves. One is like an experiment just to make sure it's like turned out okay. And then the second one is for my parents because they will be watching my dog Chai. Just a few things to do before we leave because we'll be gone for about a week. So I just gotta get stuff done today, but I will also be reading. First loaf, it doesn't look too bad. It did kind of break here, but I don't think it's too bad. It got a little weird shaped because of this thing from Trader Joe's, but I think it's still worth it because it's much easier to handle the bread. Chai's literally tooting right now, but it doesn't look too bad. I wish I added a little bit more cheese, which I thought I added a bunch of cheese, but it smells pretty good. It smells just like a jalapeno cheddar bagel. So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, actually this turned out pretty well. So I am gonna just do the exact same thing. I can't add any more cheese now. I made like, you can't just add to the dough now. Chai's tooting so much. But I'm gonna like bake it, I think the exact same way because I think it turned out really, really nicely. And no soggy bottom, so yeah. I think I'm gonna bake it for 5 minutes longer for the next one, but still very good. And the jalapeno flavor, even if you don't have a bit of it in it, you can like taste it in the bread, which is lovely. So we are on the next loaf, and I made this pretty design, and there's a bit of cheddar sticking out over here, but let's see how it goes. It's like a bajillion degrees because the oven was at 500 degrees. So I probably shouldn't have worn a sweater, but the bread is done. Let's look at this beautiful piece of work. Here it is. This one didn't break as much because I let this section, like I cut it really deep, which has made this really pretty like cliff off of it. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. This is looking a little bit better than the last one. I will let it settle. Hello, I'm about 50 pages in, and I thought I'd give you some of my thoughts so far. We're just kind of character building right now, but the very, very beginning, it's like in the past or present or whatever, like both characters are very old and one disappeared basically, and the other friend is like, I understand, like she always wanted to disappear in this way. And then we go back to like very, very early childhood. I have 2 thoughts. One is the way that this character disappeared reminds me so much of Connie Converse, who was this musician back in the 30s, I believe, and she just kind of disappeared one day, and like they never found her or her body or her car or anything. There's a really good podcast I'll link below about her. Just kind of remind me of that because I like listened to that yesterday. But also the way that this author writes about girlhood, childhood, in this way of like with the intellect of an adult, but the emotional knowledge of a child, like the importance of a doll, the idea of time and space is different than adults' idea of time and space. I really, really like sucked back into time and understanding of the character and the time and place that they're in. So I'm really liking it so far. I haven't read too much, but I'm just getting to know the characters. But yeah, I just had those two thoughts I wanted to let you guys know about. I have this like friend Zoom call. Oh, I'm tired. This friend Zoom call in a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna do that for about an hour, and then I'm gonna go to my parents to have dinner and then drop Chai off. So I'm a little mixed feelings right now, and I still have the stuff on my wall from a test I did like months ago, so I should probably take that off. These are both the brain. That's fun. And then there's Dolly Parton. Chai, it's time to pack up your stuff. I got your gross alligator, your carrot. Gotta pack it up. No, we have to pack it. Alright. I get like maybe 1 or 2 more toys in here.
This far somehow, I'll just take my chances. Collective pressure, it's about time for another lecture. You do it too, if you knew what's good for you. Future minded, it's not much for peace of mind, my friend. If I quit fighting, tell me what would happen then.
Diwali stuff is over. I think we're gonna go eat something and then go to bed because I'm pretty tired. But this coming week, I'm gonna read through my books. I'm gonna get some work done. And I also have a conference later this week that happens to be here in Arizona. So I'm excited about that, but get ready for some coziness. I am obsessed with this book. So far, it is so immersive and there's so much violence, but in a way that's like, okay, we're setting it up to like understand where these people are coming from, these two girls and their like complicated relationship already. I think they're only in like the 3rd grade. So I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. Obviously haven't had like a lot of time to read it, but it's been
No thanks, I'll pass. I don't want any of that. I'll just take my chances. No thanks, not now. I made it this far somehow. I'll just take my chances.
Hello, I'm alone in a car and I'm not driving. The car is driving. I'm in a waymo, getting home, and I'm kind of freaked out. But I'm gonna film from the waymo because I feel like that is so exciting and scary. So it's been a couple of days. I've been at a conference. I'm just heading back now. It was the last day of the conference. So yes. Sorry if I'm distracted. I'm like, feel like I might die. I have read like 2/3 to a two-thirds to three-fourths of both the books so far, so I'm really close to finishing them. I'm enjoying them both. They both are like two very different books, but My Brilliant Friend has like absolutely encaptured me so much. It's such a good book, and it really goes through like the life stages of these two women, these two girls, and their friendship. It's not as simplistic as like frenemies, but they're both very, very, very smart girls in this poor neighborhood in Naples, and it's this kind of back and forth of them being successful and wanting to be successful, and the systemic issues that just happen there. I mean, both their families like are just very like lower middle class, or even like just like poor, and their parents are not supportive at all, and you know, generally kind of abusive. But I'm loving how they're going through each stage. I'm in the like adolescent stage now of this book. It really encaptures the like female friendships with both the negatives and positives. I love that. I feel like there's not a lot of books that are so well written, that could be in a, you know, a college literature class that encaptures these themes. I'm gonna show you guys the view right now because okay, literally, I don't know, I feel like I'm just like here with a ghost. Also, if you guys want to know what it's like specifically, we can play music. I'm not going to play music while I'm recording for obvious reasons. If you're really uncomfortable with something's going on, support. If you have like an emergency, there's pullover, and it like shows you like when you're gonna drop off. You can control like how cold or hot it is, but you can't touch any of that. They'll like yell at you. But yeah, it's really cool. The drive has been really, really smooth. I'll show you guys a little bit of the drive. Oh, we're about to go. Okay. A beautiful day in Phoenix. And look at that mountain. Super, super cool. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful today. Being in a waymo or like a driverless car after 3 days of a conference is like, I know some people would be super freaked out about it. I'm still a little like about it, but not having to like be with other people right now, just you guys, like as an introvert, it feels amazing. Like I am excited for the future. Like I will use driverless cars. I like need my alone time, and this is like so amazing. And being a woman and just like, yeah, I just love this so much. It's so great. And got some stuff, but I wanted to talk to you guys about the two books that I finished. Two books I read, just to review, were Bookshops and Bonedust, which is a prequel to Legends and Lattes, and then I read My Brilliant Friend, which is the first of a 4-part series. So I'm going to talk about Bookshops and Bonedust first. And I did enjoy it. I think the first thing you're probably asking or thinking about is it as good as Legends and Lattes? And for me, it wasn't like much worse, but it wasn't quite as good. But I feel like other people would actually like this one more. Legends and Lattes was extremely low stakes. It was like she was building a coffee shop and she had people, like it was like super low stakes. It was like, I feel like a third of it was the description of the buns and the baked goods and the coffee, which I really, really loved. This one was a little bit more higher stakes than Legends and Lattes, which I think other people would like that a little bit more. It did have similarities in she was like helping her friend with their like family bookshop that was going to go out of business, and kind of deal and figuring out how to help them. A lot of really great cozy characters, people who were like, I'm not sure if I like you or not. I think that for me, I like the fact that it felt a little bit more like a video game, but I think I personally didn't like it as much, though I very much liked this book, because I was kind of looking for something that had very little plot. And I think most people would actually like this more for the increased plot, but I kind of just wanted to like vibe out. And then the second book I read, I think this might be my favorite book of the year. I'm like really thinking about calling Barnes & Nobles and seeing if they have the second book, because I finished My Brilliant Friend and I just wanted to pick up the next book. I'm like, what is gonna happen? Oh my gosh. But basically my thoughts with this book is that it's really centered around two girls who then become women in Naples, who are in a very poor neighborhood and kind of have all this hope as children that they'll, you know, have money and they'll have freedom. And as they become adolescents, as they become women, I think that it stops when they're like 16, 17. They realize that like that's not what life is. One friend kind of goes one direction to get out of the situation, and the other friend goes a different direction, and we don't know kind of if that helps them by the end of the book. But the last like sentence of I think it was the last like 2 sentences of the book, I was just like, like my heart just like went out of my body. Like it was like one of those things that I'm just like, girl, I feel you. So that book, amazing. Highly recommend. I don't think it is for everybody, but if you are a character driven book person like I am, this is the one for you. The cover is terrible. I hate the cover. It's awful. But yes. Well, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what holidays you're celebrating in these next few weeks. I'm American, so I'm about to celebrate Thanksgiving in a few days. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.